Proudly broadcasting from the Richard Philip Cavallero studio.
WRHU.
Hempstead.
You've discovered.
A cornerstone of the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication.
WRHU.
Hello, screeners. We're back again.
You're listening to The Screening Room on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Say hello to my little friend.
Join us as we talk about all things pop culture,
Hollywood news,
And entertainment.
Well, I'm feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
screeners buckle up.
and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Screening Room on WRHU. I'm your host, Michael Albrecht, joined by my co-host, Brandon Moy. Also in the studio, we have Ayal, Tsur, and Tommy Saxa.
On today's show, we are discussing video game movies, Chappele, Roan, and all the latest entertainment news.
For more on our show, follow us on Instagram at Screening Room, WRHU.
Well, welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you're all having a good start to your week. How was Fall Fest? I know some of you guys were there yesterday.
I was there briefly. I mean, the rain kind of took most of the fun out of it because I'm from California, so I don't like getting wet, and it doesn't rain a lot in California. So rain,
It's a new thing for you.
What's rain? I'm so scared of it now. No, but just it took a lot of the fun out of Fall Fest. I'm not gonna lie, because
there were rides.
The rides. I went on one ride in the rain, and it was okay, but
Which ones did you go on?
what was the one? There was.
The pirate ship, that's okay, right?
Not the never the pirate ship. I have
I'm terrified of that
immense
one.
fear of falling. I can handle heights, but falling, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I forget which.
That one's got some height on it too.
Sorry?
That one's got some height on it too.
Oh, absolutely. I'm never doing that one. What about y'all? What did you do for Fall Fest?
I wasn't there. Was anyone else there?
This is a weird thing. I'm a senior. This is my first year at Fall Fest.
Wow.
I know. And I gotta tell you, I was not wasting my time those previous years.
That's fair.
I was a little disappointed. Brennan and I, we have a fair in our hometown for Memorial Day, and it was half the size of that one, and with worse rides.
Oh. But Shaggy isn't at that one.
But Shaggy isn't that one. I left right before Shaggy went on.
Oh, really?
Because the rain was so bad, and all my friends wanted to go eat.
There's your problem.
I don't know Shaggy.
Me neither, but he was great.
Well,
I know Fall Out Boy and Taylor Swift.
You know, Shaggy's a fun, performer, but it's such an odd choice, for college age, people.
Yeah.
No,
it was a money thing.
No, even for being college age, I knew some of his songs. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
That's Bill Withers. That's a cover.
Well, I was lied to.
That's funny.
But Shaggy does have some good,
I know
good bops.
2 of his songs, and that's it.
I think everybody communally knows those 2 songs, but he really played those well.
Yeah. But I was a little disappointed as somebody who's experiencing it for the first time. But you know what? I still had fun for the 2-3 hours I was there, despite the rain. And yeah, it was just a nice little afternoon out with friends. And yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I saw Tommy on a line. We were on the same line, and I spied on him a little bit.
That was creepy. You could have said hi.
It's okay. It's the basketball one.
Just watching from behind.
I was a couple people behind you, and I saw you, and I whispered, Tommy.
That basketball one was rigged, I'm not going to lie.
No,
it was so easy.
Yeah,
really?
You just had to jaunt it.
I'm not good at basketball. I'm not a sports kid, and I got it on the first try.
Wow.
Did you win a donut?
I got a little poop emoji.
Oh, thank God.
Plushie, and the first thing I said this out loud, in a diner, later that night. I put my jacket on to leave, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot I had the little poop in my jacket." And just out of context,
yeah, I'm
I think
sure all the
that's
people
so
around
funny.
you are like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting."
Yeah. You gonna announce that?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't do that personally, but go off.
And on the radio. But I guess that was a good end to the week. But was anyone watching anything on TV or any movies this week that they found notable? Last night I was watching SNL to kick off to the 50th season. Did anyone else catch that?
No.
Nah.
I finally got to watch Reservoir Dogs.
Ooh.
Reservoir Dogs.
How was that?
It was actually a lot better than I thought it would be. I actually missed I thought I was watching Pulp Fiction for a second because I mistake the two all the time. I never actually watched Pulp Fiction either.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually really liked Reservoir Dogs a lot. I liked the non-linear kind of storytelling they were doing. It was almost like backwards in the right kinds of way. I really liked it actually. I watched it for a class. It was still really good.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I watched the best movie of the year so far, bar none. Have you guys heard of The Substance?
I have
I've heard of it.
It's this like deranged body horror movie about like an actress who like finds a drug that can turn her into a different version of herself, and it's just like it's so disturbing. But yeah, it's like a 5. Is it perfect?
Wow,
that was really good.
It's 5 stars on your letterbox.
I'm checking it right now. Yeah, sorry, I always have to go through when you ask the question.
He's on his letterbox right now, folks.
I did hear about that movie, and it has a great cast. So
Come back for Demi Moore.
Yeah, Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley. There's some good people in that movie. But I have been watching the same things that I was last week.
I've been in the same way.
I just
kind of stuck in a
I'm
rut.
boring. I've been watching Succession. Everybody watched that show. I've been watching The West Wing. Again, everybody watched that show. I'm trying to go back in my head. I was like, what movie did we watch this week in my women's narratives class? And we didn't. We went over pitches.
I don't know if anyone knows this movie, but I watched the Disney movie Dinosaur from 2000.
I do know that movie.
Okay.
Is it actually any good?
No.
It's not great.
It sounds familiar. Like the closest I watched was like The Good Dinosaur when it first came out. And
That's a good movie.
I watched it once, never watched it again. Not that I say it was a bad movie. It's like it wasn't the best Disney movie, I'll be honest, but it had some good elements.
Disney and dinosaurs don't mix. It had the worst animation style I've seen in a movie maybe ever.
Dinosaurs are good dinosaurs.
It was very early.
The
like,
Dinosaurs
already.
movie came at a time when they were trying out like CG that looked real.
Like
and
with live action.
Gotta love the experimental
It
stuff.
was not that time yet.
It has an interesting story, but the movie is just not great. But this isn't why they made the ride, but it does have a little bit of relation to one of the best rides that is sadly leaving Disney.
I know.
Dinosaur.
Yeah,
that I love. And I'm very
Not our
upset that
Dino.
it's leaving.
It's a sad one.
Dino.
I
Anyway.
miss that. But
we still have Splash Mountain.
Well,
in
I got
Japan.
some bad news for you.
Yeah.
But
let me dream.
last Sunday, do you guys know the channel MeTV? They play all the classic TV shows.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, so I was watching it, and I loved the Dick Van Dyke Show, and they had 2 really good episodes last Sunday night, and it was just hilarious. And I was thinking, like, this is such a classic show, and like it still is funny today. And I thought that was very interesting. And I love that Dick Van Dyke is still with us. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to look back and see that he's still around and having fun.
Any second now, though.
See that.
Oh my God, Tommy.
We're already having such an awful year for
we've already
celebrities
lost
that-
too many actors, too many beloved actors this year.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that later in the
Yeah.
show, unfortunately. But well, that was a great discussion, guys. Like always, keep on watching stuff and keep on sharing it because I love just knowing what you guys are watching. We're gonna shift the conversation over to our first discussion, where the Sims movie, based on the hit video game, has been officially greenlit and will be produced by Amazon MGM Studios. This project comes amid a wave of successful and not so successful video game adaptations. So, with that, how are we feeling about the announcement of the Sims movie?
They're pushing their luck.
Yeah.
They're going too far.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, I'm just
Jesus.
curious what this is going to be. I mean, is it going to be like set within the Sims world where it's just like we're following people, or is it going to be about someone like controlling a world of Sims?
I
Like,
think it's going to be like what the Minecraft movie is going to be. It's going to be like them going into the actual game itself.
Oh, I see.
That makes sense.
Regardless of the context, making a movie out of this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it could be like a ton of different premises, like everyone's like realizes, oh, we're being controlled like Big Brother style, or people are going into the game, or I don't know, like people come out of the like. There's too many ways they can play this, and all of them are weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Is this the film being produced by Margot Robbie?
Is it?
I think so.
it is.
I think it's attached to Margot Robbie.
Yeah. So it might have a similar vibe to
Yeah,
Barbie
it is.
then, where it's kind of like
which
crossover
could be,
of worlds.
which could be cool. So last night, another story from a weird thing that happened last night. My friends made a couple of my friends on Sims.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like my first taste of Sims in a very long time. There's no like plot. you just kind of do whatever.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
Minecraft.
life.
Yeah, it's
The
just
game.
life. You kind of just like it's kind of like playing dolls on a video game.
Yeah.
So
it's like the game of life,
Yeah,
with
there's,
but
like,
like
nothing to
less
wo-
bored and more screen.
but yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
I think it is going to be like the Barbie movie where since there's no plot in Barbie either, it's just like they're going to take that framing device of like control in another world and just like, I don't know, adapt it to the real world or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Which in of itself is a little, considering it's Margot Robbie producing, it's a little uncreative. Or is that the right word? Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
get what you're going for, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very tired today. No, it's just like with Margot Robbie directing and like considering like you said, Barbie has like like that exact same premise. Okay, granted, we don't know what the Sims movie is going to be about, right? But considering it's a video game movie and we have a lot of those coming out this year, or like not even this year, like just soon.
Dude, we've been flooded with them.
Yeah. But anyway,
That's a great segment, Ayal.
yeah.
Allowing me to shift this segment into somewhat of a state of video game movies.
Yeah.
State of the Union, state of the video game movies. How do we feel about video game movies as of late, especially in light of the recent Minecraft
All right,
trailer?
so-
The
if you-
Minecraft trailer
If
was
you
insane.
ask young, innocent little boy Tommy
one's in- no
3
one's
years
in
ago,
anymore.
like
3 years ago.
do you want video game
Jesus.
movies? Like, you know, there's gonna be a Last of Us show, there's gonna be a Fallout show, there's gonna be a Borderlands movie. This is gonna happen. I would be jumping off the walls. But now, since I'm like, you know, an adult and kind of jaded, they've gotten a little stale for me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just everywhere. They're so uninspired. I mean, obviously, Last of Us show and Fallout are great.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah, I think it really depends on, you know, the kind of game. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Mario is so like locked into that like
no, I think the
You know,
Mario
kind of platformer.
the Mario movie definitely marketed towards kids, obviously, but like it still had a lot of like great references for like older Mario fans
Right.
too. I think like they did their
Played
job.
Kid Icarus at one point.
They did?
It was for the fans.
Oh wow, I didn't catch that. I haven't watched the Mario movie since it came out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the Mario movie was great.
and The Last of Us.
The Last of Us is also great. They
Oh, yeah.
did a great
Season
job.
2 trailer got
It did,
released.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking
They're
about that
showing
later.
Abby. It's gonna be like the Last of Us 2 game. So
Yeah.
What other Sonic, I think, came out recently too.
Yeah.
No, Sonic 3 trailer came out recently.
no, they're making
Yes.
Sonic a franchise now.
It was already a franchise.
Okay, well, like the live action Sonic.
Live
yes.
action Sonic
Yeah.
franchise, yeah. Actually, I can't believe I actually know this. They have a new Sonic game coming out, and like they have like a weird collaboration with the live action Sonic movies. Where like now like Shadow the Hedgehog is like they're like focusing on Shadow the Hedgehog in the new game and in the movie. So now they're like putting the live action Shadow into the video game.
Wait, is this Sonic X Shadow Generation?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
yeah. Let's make sure.
And there's a Knuckles show now, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there
It's like a
is.
spin-off.
I haven't watched the second movie, and I haven't watched the Knuckles show.
I heard Knuckles gets like 10 minutes of screen time in his own show.
I
the
heard
entire
that too.
thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What do we think of the Minecraft trailer? I thought it looked terrible.
dear.
It's like such a weird, like uncanny valley Minecraft because
Yeah.
it like looks somewhat realistic,
think-
but also really strange.
It's the ugliest looking world in a movie since Dinosaur 2000.
That's funny.
My God.
That's very funny, Tommy.
It's kind of fair. And then
How else do you think they could have like played that world? Like how do you think they could have like made it?
I think they just lean into a cartoony look.
Like
I agree.
Like Mario?
well, I'm
Yeah.
thinking like early 2010s. You know, there's all those parody, you know, music
Oh,
videos of
exactly.
Minecraft characters.
Minecraft and like actual Minecraft.
Yeah, yeah.
animations. Yeah.
And like those were pretty well done. Like it looked better than the video game, but didn't
Yeah.
look so weird that it was like, you know, strange.
Or they can just do what Mario did and just make a really high budget, well animated movie.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Well, okay. Thing is, like with Minecraft, like, yeah, you can go off the rails, but also just remember Minecraft is a little more simple than like Mario. Actually,
Yeah.
You know what? No, I'm lying. But like, I'm thinking in terms of movement, Minecraft is a little more simple.
Well, you know what
Yeah.
the Lego movies did? They leaned into that and made the Lego characters move how they would move in real life.
Yeah, Lego movies did an excellent job.
Oh yeah, so just have them do it that, like, you know, stilted movement.
When I first watched the Lego movies, I was like, "Is this stop motion?" And I
well-
questioned myself for so long, and then I
Part-
found out it was actually just pure animation. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Wow, that's
Yeah.
very impressive. It's pretty cool." And what about Jack Black being Steve?
Oh, I think. God.
Certainly a
we-
decision.
We don't know how Steve is going to play into this game. Like, it could be a Jumanji situation where Steve's also trapped in the video game, which would make a lot of it would make sense, but also it's Jack Black. I love the guy, right? He is funny. Don't get me wrong. He curses a lot. That's funny. No, but like he's been in like a little too many movies for my taste. I think
kind of like Willem Dafoe now, where like I love him, but he's just really kind of shoved in my face.
Yeah.
I think he was great in the Mario movie. Like as Bowser's voice, I think for sure he was great. But it's just weird seeing him as Steve. I don't know how they're gonna play Steve, considering Steve is already such a blank character to begin with.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of creating the character.
They are creating a character, but I'm not sure it fits with the Minecraft world. Like,
right.
It's also just Jack Black's personality overall.
Yeah. And it's weird how they're turning Jack Black into like a certain type of actor and character now. Like in almost every movie, he's kind of the same thing over the past few years.
It's funny because like he used to have such a range. I mean, he started as like Bernie, which he was a murderer. He was in like School of Rock. Well, that's kind of the same character. But he used to play different characters, and now he's just like the Jablinski type, the bro.
You're just kind of a meme.
Yeah, exactly. So he's really been like typecast.
Yeah,
I remember when he was in Goosebumps. I watched that film. I actually weirdly enjoyed the Goosebumps film. I'm not gonna lie, not just because of Jack Black. Because actually, I lied just because of Jack Black.
Does anyone have like a video game movie that they really love that they're just like, oh, this is the best thing ever?
Ooh.
Well, it's gonna be Zelda when that comes out. That's the most, I'm not even kidding. That's my most anticipated movie ever.
I think we were all forgetting.
I might agree with that.
Genuinely, yeah.
I think we all collectively as a society forgot about the Pokemon movie, like the live action
Detective
Pikachu.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we all forgot about that because like,
Reynolds.
look, I'm a huge freaking Pokemon fan. I'm like an encyclopedic, like everything about Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But watching the live action Pokemon movie, it was interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't bad. Like
it showed their worlds in a pretty cool way, almost like a dystopian way.
Kind of. Also, Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu is just it's never not funny to me to hear Deadpool. It's just like a little yellow rat.
So I'm not a fan of Paul W.S. Anderson. I've never been, but my one thing that I've always liked, and I watched it with my mom like years ago, is the Resident Evil movie, the live action one. The really over the top, like stupid, like action. But I've always liked it.
Interesting.
And that movie's had like 7 sequels.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say my favorite thing, I didn't get to finish the first season yet, but is The Last of Us. I thought they did that
I'm
show.
actually watching that again.
Still need to watch that.
Yeah, I gotta finish that.
I'm so behind. I
know.
I was gonna watch it last year, and then I just didn't.
Yeah.
That's really it. I was gonna watch it on a bus, going upstate, and then I learned that I can't do that because Wi-Fi is weird. And then I wound up watching movies, and then I just got onto watching other things, and I just never watched it.
I know, it's always like that.
I don't know who here has seen the live-action Mario movie from the 80s.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I've seen clips.
Let's not mention that movie here.
Sorry, I brought up Voldemort.
Such an interesting, interesting take on the franchise.
Paisanos.
Jeez.
Super Mario on the Super Show.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm sure we could talk about video games for a while, but I think we're going to hand it over now to our very own Tommy Saxa to catch us up on some of the latest stories with our first news break. So, Tommy, take it away.
SAG-AFTRA is looking to include intimacy coordinators in their union following their recent 4-month-long strike against AI software and entertainment. Intimacy coordinators work closely with actors to help map out scenes and are vital for choreography, and we hope to see where this goes. Freeze Dirtbags, a RoboCop series, has been greenlit by Amazon Prime. Horror icon James Wan set to produce. The show plans to follow the plot for the 1987 film, featuring the campy and satirical tone fans have come to love. DreamWorks' The Wild Robot released in theaters this week to critical acclaim, which tells the story of a maroon robot who learns to survive in the wilderness.
All right. Thank you, Tommy.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, that really is cool stuff. All right, well, we're going to move on to our next discussion that I'm going to be calling Trailer Talk.
What?
I know, right? I'm so creative. Anyway, the recent trailers for Thunderbolts and The Last of Us Season 2 have generated significant buzz among fans. The Thunderbolts trailer showcases Marvel's team of anti-heroes and villains, promising a darker and more intense take on the superhero genre. Meanwhile, The Last of Us Season 2 trailer has left fans both excited and anxious. Set 5 years after the events of the first season, the trailer reveals a strained relationship between Joel and Ellie as they face new threats in a post-apocalyptic world. The introductions of new characters like Abby and Dinah, along with a focus on emotional turmoil and moral conflicts. So,
All right, I got thoughts about this. I'm sorry.
All right. So
Okay.
I know everything about The Last of Us 2, or like what season 2 is based off of. So I'm gonna try to like not talk about spoilers all that much because I know everything that's gonna happen. I know what's gonna show up. So Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, yeah. So that
let's get started
I
with
do
that.
want to go into Thunderbolts first. What do we all think about that?
You know what? I actually kind of enjoy the trailer a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of the state of the MCU at this moment. Well, I think Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine was funny as hell. But like a lot of like what we got Marvels or the Marvels, and then we have Eternals. Like a lot of stuff after Endgame is, I've stated this before. A lot of stuff after Endgame is just kind of like gone downhill.
Yeah.
But I think with trying to turn Marvel into like kind of like follow DC a little bit with the Suicide Squad, I think it could honestly be a good prospect. Also, if they allow some F-bombs in there, you know, I wouldn't.
I doubt
mind.
it.
They already did for Guardians 3, and Deadpool exists.
Yeah.
So,
So I have a bit of like a cardinal rule with like modern day Stage 5 Marvel.
you got?
If it's not Deadpool or Spider-Man, it's gonna flop.
That's
Which,
funny.
It's a little cynical.
Yeah.
I'm aware, but like I don't think the interest in the MCU is just completely diminished at this point. So it's such a risk. Like
Yeah.
where last phase it would have been like almost a guaranteed success. I think now people are just less inclined to go see it.
Well, I feel like I just watched this trailer before we went on air today, and I feel like this is a return to like old Marvel. It feels like it doesn't feel like, you know, this is some cosmic level threat or like some
Yeah.
multiverse story. Like this is, you know, they're fighting on the street. They're, you know, taking on looks like New York City.
yeah. What are the odds it's going to lead into a cosmic little threat?
I mean, who knows?
There's gonna be a big like laser in the sky.
It was Galactus all along.
But I think it's cool because it kind of feels like, you know, like anti-hero Avengers team up. And we haven't had a team up since Avengers Endgame. So it's kind of cool to see characters coming together now and, you know, facing whatever this new threat is. I'm excited to see. Also, we got to see what happened to Stark Tower for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
since
Yeah.
it was
I
sold.
think
that was like
I think it was bought
gnawing
by.
at our minds.
I think it was bought by Fisk. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I think it showed Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character.
She's in it.
Yeah, she's
see the
been like
trailer.
that teaser in the last few projects.
She's like
been,
the mastermind behind the scenes.
Yeah,
type
she's
of-
like the Nick
The
Fury
Amanda
of
Waller.
the anti-Avengers.
Yeah, kind of like Amanda Waller.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, it's
I mean, okay, I have a weird kind of thing with like calling it an anti-hero movie because we have both Kate Bishop and Bucky as like part of the team, and they're not anti-heroes. So like it's just kind of it's strange to
Kate
me.
Bishop's in this movie.
I don't
Yeah.
think Kate Bishop's in
Wait,
this
she's
one.
not? Did I just did I
It's
get that wrong?
it's Elena. What's her name?
Well, even Bucky, like he's a
the
straight up
sister
hero.
of
This Black Widow's
Widow.
sister.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
are a
Florence
couple
Pugh's
of
character.
brunette ladies,
I
but
might have to
neither
double
of them
check
are.
that. 'cause-
But
Wait.
there's a Ghost.
Ghost, which is
from
interesting.
Yeah,
Ant-Man
no,
and the
Ant-Man and
Wasp.
By the way, I don't know who's curious, but I was looking up the Thunderbolts in the first. That actually, what was higher was the Thundermans before.
That's funny.
Thunderman.
so like,
Also
Oh,
superheroes.
that
Technical
Nickelodeon show.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. I think these are interesting characters we haven't really gotten to explore that well in depth. I mean, of course, Bucky's here. Everybody loves Bucky. So I think.
Not sure why he's here though.
Yeah, I
Because
don't
they
know. It's
need
gonna be
to throw him
interesting.
I
in.
think
I don't
he's
know.
still, even though he is more of a hero now, he's still kind of considered an anti-hero because he was the Winter Soldier
He killed Tony Stark's parents.
and he
yeah.
killed Tony Stark's parents.
I
Let's get some personal
I
problems.
think we
here.
as a society, or specifically, I forgot about that.
That's
Yeah.
all right. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. It's kind of like Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which will be fun. Hopefully nobody dies.
Yeah.
But if anybody dies, let's leave Sebastian Stan and Florence Pugh alone, and they live.
Sure.
Um,
I think there will be riots if Sebastian Stan is killed off in the MCU.
That would be great. I think he has a lot more on his contract.
The one
too,
thing
so
is,
yeah.
though, I'm very happy Wyatt Russell's getting some time to shine.
Oh,
he's one of like the most
Yeah.
underappreciated actors of like the modern times. I really like him. So
Yeah, I mean, he's such a hated character in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series.
I have some
but
thoughts about that. I actually think they made him too likable.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they redeemed him too well. They barely made him. I mean, yeah, he did that one thing with like the terrorist, but it's a terrorist. Like you can't really feel too bad. So I've always liked him, like just his character.
Yeah,
Really
I think it's an interesting.
Oh, you're
character.
stretching your morals on air, aren't you, Tommy?
I'm a good person, believe me.
Tommy doesn't condone that stuff. Anyway, if we're ready to move on, any thoughts on The Last of Us?
Okay. So
It didn't show too much on what The Last of Us 2 really gets into.
I don't know who's aware, for like listeners, but Last of Us 2 is potentially the most controversial video game ever made.
Really?
I mean, like the leaks when that happened at the golf club. Like
Have you played The Last of Us 2?
I like The Last of Us 2 actually.
Did you play it though?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good.
How is
No.
the story of The Last of Us 2?
It's messy.
Is it better than the first?
No.
Oh, okay.
It definitely. Let's just say it focuses more on Ellie than it did the first one.
But I think what they're gonna do with the sequel is make the first 30 minutes of The Last of Us 2 the whole season, because they're trying to build it up as much as possible, so Abby's decision makes more sense to you as like a viewer, and you almost kind of agree with her. And then season 3 is gonna be Ellie's revenge quest.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it's yet to be seen, right? We've only gotten like a little small snippet trailer of season 2. But personally, I love The Last of Us. I love the games. I love the show. So I honestly am excited to see what they're gonna bring, like some new elements they're gonna bring into season 2.
I'm really excited we're getting the therapist, because now Joel might reveal his decision from the end of the season 1 to someone else, which we've never heard of.
That's true. I mean, not to go into spoiler, he doesn't reveal what he did in the end of season 1 to many people. Only
Tommy, right?
Only Tommy, and then Ellie eventually.
Yeah, but like way down the line.
Way down the line. Also, spoilers. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I apologize. I mean, if they should have seen it already.
Yeah,
it's their fault.
I mean,
still be a surprise.
Not to victim blame.
Last of Us 2, the game came out. When did it come out? Like I think 2019.
29. Oh no, like COVID.
Oh geez.
2020.
That must have been a little too on the
A
nose.
long time ago.
Yeah, no, a pandemic and a pandemic.
Very topical. But how closely did the first season align with the first video
Extremely.
game? Very close. There are a few.
Even the Bill one, like we've got hints
Right.
that that's what happened in the game, but we
Right.
never saw it.
No. So episode 3, I think everyone talks about episode 3, The Last of Us season 1.
Yeah.
They kind of like added more to like a very menial character in the game. Bill, who was just kind of like this grumpy guy who rigged an entire town against everyone else. And then they gave him more character. They gave him a husband.
Was that Nick Offerman?
That was Nick
Absolutely.
Offerman. Yes.
I love
Nick Offerman. Yeah, we
How
can
do
talk.
you not?
He was surprisingly good,
No.
like in a serious role. Like I've only ever seen him, like
As Ron
being his
Swanson.
goofy
Yeah,
self.
Ron Swanson. He was also in an episode of The West Wing.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And he's in one episode. I don't even think his character is named.
Yeah.
And every time I watch that episode, I'm like, oh, Nick Offerman. And I'm like, it warms my heart.
We can talk about Parks and Rec all
He's
day.
been doing
but-
serious roles recently. He was in
No,
Civil
he-
War.
Yeah.
He wasn't. Oh my God, I forgot he was in that.
He has a president.
Wasn't he nominated for an Emmy for his Last of Us?
think
For
he
Joel?
was.
Yeah, I think he
Might
was.
have
Yeah.
been, yeah.
He's good enough for
Well,
it.
I think season 2 will definitely be.
Not for Joel. So.
I don't want to say Emmy bait, but it will definitely get Emmys, or
Yeah.
at least be nominated.
Yeah, I
mean,
forgot how
depending
the
on where it
first season
goes.
did at the Emmys. I think I know
I'm forgetting
I think
too.
they won for best writing of the third episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's possible.
Yeah,
They deserve it. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, that was quite
But
an
yeah,
episode.
the season 1 of The Last of Us basically follows the first game to a T when it comes to Joel and Ellie. But I'm really curious to see where the second one goes, because fans aren't going to be happy either way. That's my
Yeah.
prediction.
So
Somebody-
you think it would be better to kind of divulge from
I mean,
the video game?
deviate or at least stall, because
Yeah.
there's a very There's
I
a
mean-
thing that happens in the second game that people don't like.
They already confirmed that the events of the second game will actually span 2 seasons.
There you go.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. There's only 2 games, right?
Yes. So far there is. And okay, well, in the
I don't
second,
think there's gonna be a
the
3.
second game, it's formatted a little weird. There's technically 2 protagonists, right? And like, once they actually meet up for the first time, then we switch over to like what happened with the other protagonists.
Well, it's really cool because, and this is one thing I actually really like about the second one. It's almost like the antagonist you don't want to play as her. Like it's almost like you playing as Bowser for a half a Mario game. Like you hate it, but then you start to kind of.
You never played Bowser's Inside Story?
Actually, no.
Fix that. Anyway.
How do we?
I have better things to do.
Do you think this show is going to go beyond what the video games cover once they finish these
I
storylines?
think it will.
Yeah.
I think it definitely will. Yeah.
Because there's that whole town of Jackson, which there's so much. There's Maria and Tommy's relationship. There's the Dina's
Shoot,
arc.
Dina. Oh yeah, like she has. It's like a whole thing with like this new character Dina and stuff she goes through the game, and especially a little bit after like into like the end of the game, we can definitely see a little more domestic stuff. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah,
there's so much to cover in that.
I think who's Tommy's wife again in the game?
Maria?
Maria. I don't think she was pregnant in the game. Was she?
I think she had a kid already.
She had a kid. I forget. Whatever. I think we can definitely dive a little more into that because I think in season 2 we definitely need to get a little more of Tommy's perspective on things. Because you know what happens.
You'd like it?
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
No, I phrased
what
that
are you
wrong.
implying, Tom?
I'm implying you want my perspective.
Oh,
I got the joke.
But I'm really tired and
I
I don't know how to phrase things.
I forgot your name for a second.
Who are we?
What are we doing
Who am
here?
I?
But yeah.
No, but like I was saying, like the Last of Us character Tommy. Now I have to specify.
Right.
No, I think considering what he goes through in the second game, I think it would be nice to like see what happens in the show.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. I gotta finish the first season first, but then
I
I'm
gotta
excited
start
for
the
this.
first season.
Oh, you didn't even start it?
No.
Please do that.
Man.
I gotta. I like
guys
the
are
actors involved
uninitiated.
too. I'm a huge Pedro Pascal fan, and I know Caitlin Dever is joining season 2. And
Oh my
I
god,
love
I'm
her.
so happy she's getting like a big role. She's book smart.
Yeah, she's a great actress and doesn't get as many huge roles as she should. So I'm very happy she's getting like a good role like that.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of Marvel and Pedro Pascal, what are our thoughts on him being casted as Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four?
I don't think I'm ever going to be upset with Pedro Pascal being casted in something.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Pedro Pascal is like a great guy. I would have loved to see them actually continue with John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. Like that was like a headcanon everyone loved, and they actually played with that in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, but Ayal, is he Pedro Pascal?
No, he's not Pedro.
I feel like Pedro Pascal doesn't inherently feel like Mr. Fantastic, though.
No,
like
not at
he
first.
really
not at first.
doesn't.
I agree.
Like, he's not really the character at all. He's not like uptight and kind of stern. But like, he's Pedro Pascal. It's okay for me.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder maybe he'll really adapt and be like fantastic
I
at
think-
this.
But
That's good.
Like, I wish
That's
he was
good.
my dad. It's fine.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I agree with everyone. Doesn't really feel like Mr. Fantastic, but again, he's Pedro Pascal. I'm gonna give him a shot because
I mean, it might be a different interpretation of the Fantastic Four
That's
too.
true
We
as
don't
well.
know. Like,
it kind of seems like it's doing that, which I'm all for. Because like, I mean, I like the first Fantastic Four movie from like 2004 with Chris Evans. The other ones really suck.
I'm gonna be honest. You're kind of like lonely in that belief, but I actually totally believe. I agree with you. Like the 2004 one's great.
I like it.
It's so comic booky.
It is, and I love it. It's great.
I haven't watched this.
I like that. Chris Evans as like the Human Flame showed up in Deadpool.
Yeah, and everyone was like ecstatic about it because they missed those.
That was
movies.
great.
I thought it was Captain America. I'm not gonna lie.
I lost my shit. I thought it was Doctor Strange, and then he took off because I only saw like the wrapping on his hands, and then when he took off the hood, I saw it was Chris Evans, and I was like, oh my god, it's Captain America.
No.
And then he took the thing off and said "Flame on," and I lost it in the theater.
I did too.
I was on a Disney cruise ship watching this movie.
You were on a Disney cruise?
Yeah, it was the first.
What a venue to watch!
I know,
Wow.
right?
Deadpool.
It was the first. It was the first R-rated film on a Disney cruise ship, and I was there with a bunch of other adults.
Oh no. Were the kids there?
I don't know. It was late, so I don't know. It was also the same night as Pirate Night,
Oh.
So there were a lot of people up deck. I literally ran up like 12 flights of stairs to get to Pirate Night to get a good spot after the movie.
Wow.
But
exercise.
oh my god, my legs were bad. Anyway, when he said "flame on," I was slinging out curses like crazy. My brain was exploding.
Wow.
So that's a fun little story.
That's crazy.
Disney cruise.
Where's the magic? No, but that's cool. I'm excited for all these projects, and I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think there's some good stuff coming out with these. I think we have some hope on the horizon. But so why don't we hand it over now to Tommy again with our next news break to catch us up on some more stories. So Tommy, take it away.
A 6-part Netflix miniseries about the life of the controversial founder of the WWE, titled Mr. McMahon, has been released and promises to show the objective truth behind this polarizing figure's life, as well as his historic rise and fall. The first ever Bridgerton-themed ball took place in Detroit last Sunday, an event that promised a glamorous and immersive experience. Guests got an event far from what they were promised, however. With little staff, no drinks, and cheap food, the night ended in disappointment. Holy Hollywood, Batman! The iconic Cape Crusader has officially become the first superhero to be given a star on the prestigious Hollywood Walk of Fame. While not the first fictional character to receive a star, this is a landmark moment for comic book fans.
Well, thank you again.
Yeah.
I heard about that Bridgerton story, and
It's crazy.
it's kind of funny because people go all out for this show and all the events they have, and then to hear like it was such a disappointment was
No, it was like
very funny.
dressing up in a tux to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Like,
Yeah.
That's funny. People are comparing it to the Willy Wonka thing.
Oh,
which
yeah,
I think is
basically.
so funny.
That was really funny.
I've been to an official Bridgerton ball.
Uh-huh.
I went for.
Was this one not official? Is that what it was?
They said it was the first one.
Okay.
It's not.
It was. Oh no, it was not licensed by Bridgerton.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I've been to one that was licensed by Netflix and Bridgerton, and it was actually a very great experience.
Oh,
As somebody who, like, I'm into the show, I like the show. I'm not as crazy as my girlfriend is into the show. It was a lot of fun. It was very, very cool. As somebody who freaks out about like really cool like AV things, but also really cool stepping into story worlds.
Yeah.
I was geeking out, and I'm not crazy.
Also, Batman getting
Oh
a
yeah,
star?
let's say.
I love that.
So if Batman can get a star on the Walk of Fame, who else? Like, what other superhero can get a star?
Well, he's not the first fictional character. Like I think Mickey Mouse, The Simpsons got stars.
Minnie
Yeah,
Mouse
there's quite a
has one, too.
few.
Oh,
fiction-
really?
But like he actually what was weird too is like he got a star for movies, which was like
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Well, he started out on TV.
yeah. Well, he
Before
started
the
out as
Batman
like
movies.
I would personally I'd put it in a comic just as
Yeah. Maybe one day they'll have that category.
yeah.
That's kind of cool. I wonder if like Iron Man will get one or Superman.
I
in the
would love
future.
that. I
Or,
think
Yeah.
or just Robert Downey Jr. Does he already have one? I forget.
I
think
think
he
he
does,
has
yeah.
one. He's,
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
he
a
was
while
on
ago,
Saturday
yeah.
Night Live. Does anybody know that?
I just
Yeah,
read
like
about
for one
that.
season.
Yeah.
He was on it for one season. He was not good, but
Oh.
I still love him.
I heard he was ranked in last of all SNL character
Ooh,
God,
that must
what
have
is it called?
stung.
Yeah,
cast
yeah.
members.
Ooh.
So
Anyway.
poor guy.
Well, I also
Thanks.
think that's when he was like really bad with drugs too.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
probably wasn't focused on comedy.
Maybe he'll host it again one day.
I would love that, honestly.
I feel like he'd be very good.
Well, anyway, thank you again, Tommy, for that great news break. We are now going to shift over to catch up on some Hollywood news. First up, Hoda
Copy.
Kotb. Oh God, I should have had you
You
say
don't know
this story.
Hoda's name?
I know her first name. Has announced that she will be leaving NBC's Today Show after 17 years as co-anchor and 26 years with the network. She revealed that her decision to step down was influenced by her desire to focus more on her family and explore new opportunities as she enters her 60s. Kotb's last day on the show will be in early 2025, but she will continue to have a presence at NBC in a different role. Her departure has been an emotional moment for both her and her colleagues, who expressed their support and admiration during her on-air announcement. Now, Brandon, I know this is kind of sucky news for you. So I before we open it up to the rest of the studio for discussion, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, so I just started my internship at the Today Show
Oh, no.
this past week. And the day after I worked with her is the day that she announced she's leaving. And so everyone texted me like, "Oh my gosh, Brandon, what did you do?" And I'm like, "I don't know." But it's so sad because I've been watching the Today Show since I was born. You know, this is what got me into all this stuff. And Hoda's been one of my favorite anchors, and I've watched her every morning with my mom, and it's just been, you know, such a warm way to start every day. And so to know that she's leaving has been kind of hit me pretty hard.
You sure you didn't spike her coffee or something?
No, I didn't. No.
World's
It's
worst
upsetting.
first day intern.
Yeah, I really messed up, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, it kind of sucks, and it's interesting to see where the show is going to go now because she's kind of there. She's the heart of the show, really.
100%.
And so I don't know where it's gonna what direction it's gonna take.
They need a spot to fill, and you're available.
Yeah, I mean, I'd gladly take over the position.
Dude,
but,
this is basically like Macbeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're gonna take that place.
Yeah, maybe that would be nice. But I'm pretty certain. I have no insider information, so don't take this as any kind of breaking news. But I feel like Craig Melvin will be taking over as the co-anchor. But I have no idea who's gonna take over her spot for the 4th hour in Hoda and Jenna, because like it's just her and Jenna, and there's no one else that really has that same warmth on the show right now. So
I mean, if you build a good repertoire with Jenna, like I keep saying,
yeah, I'll put it in my resume.
See if there's chemistry.
Yeah,
That's funny. I don't know. For me, I don't really watch the news. Other than the news shows we have here at WRHU and the Heat Network.
Morning
what's in the
Wake-up
Newsline?
The Newsline, yeah. But at least in my head, it's been 26 years. That's more than my life.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. I always see her on like the Thanksgiving Day parades and like doing all this stuff, and it's like she's like in my head like an icon of broadcast right now, or like American broadcast systems and whatever. So like it's a weird thought of transitioning from her time on television into a new era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at a time when regular broadcast television is kind of dwindling in ratings. Losing a staple personality like her is kind of, a big deal. And so will people be tuning out now? Will people choose other programs?
I see it as a blessing in disguise because now they can rebrand, maybe get someone new, try to up the ratings a little bit.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, it could.
Look, especially with the current news status right now and like the election coming up, I don't think people are going to be tuning out anytime soon at the moment.
She'll be here until the end of next year anyway. But.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna keep their eyes peeled until next year, until one of the candidates is inaugurated.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I'm thinking, just TV personalities in general. Like, how important do we find that nowadays? Like, Jimmy Fallon is such a staple of the Tonight Show, but even he's starting to dwindle in the ratings, and he got cut down from 5 shows a week to 4 now.
Personality is a stretch when it comes to
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
He's the last of the late night hosts to do 5 shows, and now he's back down to 4.
I feel like if anybody who doesn't know the Conan O'Brien drama from when he had the Tonight Show, a lot of it had to do with they wanted to move the show later into the night, and he said no.
Right.
If Conan were host, he would have said no. We're still doing 5.
Yeah.
Although he's also the person who cut his show from an hour into 30 minutes, which I think was a mistake. That's a whole nother discussion.
I mean, it helped bring new viewers in, especially in the Instagram era. So I'm kind of a fan of it. Plus, I just agree with everything Conan does. He's my favorite.
I love Conan, but I just want more of Conan. I also love Jimmy, and I don't know. I think if Jimmy wasn't hosting his show and Conan didn't host his show, or it's not Ryan and Kelly anymore, but whoever it is now.
Yeah, Kelly and Mark.
If they weren't the hosts, I don't know if I'd be as intrigued by the shows.
I mean, when you have a personality that strong, especially as strong as Conan, I'm not going to say Jimmy Fallon, that desk-slapping idiot, but people will tune in.
Yeah. I feel like that, TV of old had such big personalities like Regis
Carson.
Philbin, Johnny Carson. You know, these people were TV, and like Walter Cronkite and all those people.
Oh yeah.
So in this age, I feel like there aren't really people like that are just like so staple. Like Kelly Ripa is one of the last few that's like, oh, you know, Kelly Ripa has her show and she's like consistent and you love her. But apart from that, there's really no one left.
We really don't have anybody now who's like that enough of a personality to carry a whole show, to like base it around them.
Right.
Just give me a few years.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'll turn into the AL show.
The Ayal show will come on sooner or later. Just wait.
I will say Kelly Clarkson may be one of the last like good daytime talk show hosts.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Because a lot of them left. Ellen, she got canceled.
Rightfully so.
Dr. Phil is not.
Is Dr. Phil
Oh,
still
I
around?
miss Dr. Phil.
He's not on the standard channels. I think he might be doing some other project. I don't know. I forgot.
I remember watching like, a bunch of like Dr. Phil clips on YouTube. Like, whoa, these people are nuts.
I remember my favorite was the one where he like someone was so bad that he would say you're banished to the ranch, and just send him to the ranch, like this vague place like limbo.
I remember him like talking to this one guy, and he legally changed his name to, I'm not kidding, Sexy Vegan.
Yeah, I remember Sexy Vegan.
Yes, he legally, like, he was talking to this guy who legally changed his name to Sexy Vegan. It was like he'd basically gone off the rails bonkers, and it was amazing.
He came in like, I am the beautiful vegan.
Exactly.
He put a V on his head like V for Vendetta.
This is one of the many times we're limited by this being an audio only format, because I made a visible reaction.
Yes,
in my
he did.
face.
Yeah. Yes, he did. It was still. I don't watch a lot of late night television or like a lot of that kind of television in general, but like, you know, the stuff that I do see, I do really like.
Now, Dr. Phil's a staple in my childhood.
I know, like Days Homesick.
Yeah,
you tune in,
throw that on
like,
at daytime.
Yeah.
I loved Goose Twain. He would come on a couple times.
Yeah. I miss the classic days of like daytime talk, and I don't know. I'm kind of sad that it's kind of maybe coming to an end. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Do you think Hoda might become like a Oprah type figure, like occasionally showing up for like specials and hosting different things?
If I knew who Hoda
so
was,
down
then
for
yes.
that.
Yeah, I think I would be too.
That'd
Maybe
be
like come
awesome.
back for the Thanksgiving Day parade or like
Yeah.
you know, the Christmas tree lighting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll miss her, but I hope she sticks around. She said she wants to stay in the NBC family.
Maybe she'll
so
be like a producer or something.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe. Never know. We'll find out. But we're gonna hand it over now to some music talk with artist Chappele Roan, who has recently found herself at the center of controversy due to a combination of her stance on the 2024 presidential election and issues with fan behavior. Initially, she faced backlash for her comments about not endorsing a presidential candidate, which many interpreted as her being politically neutral. In response, Roan took to TikTok to clarify her position, stating that while she won't publicly endorse a candidate, she will vote for Kamala Harris, and emphasize the importance of critical thinking and questioning those in power. Roan has also been outspoken about her experiences with harassment and stalking from fans, highlighting the boundary violations she faces as a public figure. So what are our thoughts on this whole Chappele Roan drama? I know it's been kind of in the air lately.
I mean, we already have a few celebrities. We got Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish already endorsing Harris, right? And like we got a lot of celebrities now endorsing the candidates. So, you know, it makes a lot of sense that like maybe Chappelle wouldn't want all that kind of like backlash if she did say something like someone didn't like.
Yeah.
So like I think staying politically neutral, especially when you're a big celebrity, like yes, like if you have the influence and you think it's for a good cause, do it. But if you just want to make your stuff and not get too political, that's also fine. I think she was fine just staying politically neutral, and fans didn't have to harass her about it.
Yeah,
And
I think to criticize someone for not
It's
wanting
ridiculous.
to state their stances.
I don't know if it's a legal thing, but you actually don't have to tell anybody who you're going to vote for.
No,
right.
No, it's
Like-
not,
I mean, that's the whole idea.
It's
is
not
that
a legal thing, but like no, you
private
never
ballot.
do. Yeah.
It's funny how like this is an oxymoron, but like politicized political neutrality has become.
Yeah.
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 If you don't take a stance, people will think you're like against their side.
Yeah.
which is such like a it's such like a modern thing to say.
I actually recently I was actually talking to someone who supports the opposite candidate from me, and we had a pretty decent conversation. We even like got through our differences, and they managed to have like a good conversation. So like it can happen, right?
Yeah.
But the media is so
That's really nice.
The media is like really poisoned how we interact with people. Like social media and like news, like we see we got Democrats seeing Republicans as like evil, and I will state this, and people might be upset over this. Not all Republicans are evil. I know plenty of Republicans, and they are pretty decent people, and they do have level
political
heads.
affiliation doesn't make you a bad person.
No, it definitely does
Yeah.
not. No, I know that firsthand.
My dad says this all the time. There's good and bad of each type of
Oh,
person.
there
like,
is.
you know.
I don't think any.
Let's not get too political.
Not to get too political. But it is a shame that people are like harassing her over this and like criticizing her because she doesn't owe anyone anything, politically, and it's a shame. I don't know. Hopefully, I know she canceled a show recently in New York because of all everything going on. So. Hopefully she comes back from it.
Look, fans are gonna be fans, and sometimes fans are crazy, and crazy most of the time gets stopped.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's kick off our next topic here.
Before we get into Tune In this week, unfortunately, we do have to address some unfortunate news from this past week. Dame Maggie Smith, the treasured star of both stage and screen, passed away peacefully on September 27th, 2024, at the age of 89. Renowned for her unforgettable performances as Professor Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter series and the Dowager Countess in Downton Abbey, her illustrious career spanned over 7 decades and garnered her to 2 Academy Awards, 5 BAFTAs, and countless other accolades. Her family expressed profound sorrow and gratitude to the staff at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital for their compassionate care during her final days. Her passing comes shortly after the recent loss of another legendary actor, James Earl Jones, who passed away earlier this month, known for his iconic roles as Darth Vader in Star Wars and Mufasa in The Lion King. Jones's contribution to film and theater is equally as monumental. The screening room would like to extend its deepest condolences to the families of both Smith and Jones, acknowledging the profound impact these 2 icons have left on the world of entertainment. Before we move on, does anyone have any favorite roles or memories of either of these 2 acting legends?
I feel like they're both just such iconic people in recent, decades. And, Maggie Smith, I never watched the Harry Potter movies, but I watched her on Downton Abbey, and she was just so funny and, like...
I was going to say she's genuinely the best character.
Yeah, and she's, like, so good at what she does. It's, like, it's so genuine, her portrayals, and it's just funny. And, I think both of them are so loved in the community in Hollywood, and, they were so unproblematic, so people are very saddened by it.
Yeah.
I remember watching Lion King for the first time with my family and hearing James Earl Jones' voice. I was like, whoa, that guy has a deep voice. And that made me want to have a deep voice too. No, but like then I started getting more into James Earl Jones, right? Like my dad also made me watch Star Wars, love his voice there. I've seen a few other stuff, like specifically recently I saw him in a House where he played a dictator that was in the hospital.
Wait, which House? MD?
Yes, House.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't know if I didn't know I had to specify. No, but like I love James Earl Jones, and I was in the gym when I saw on TV that he had passed. I was like, I actually had to like put down my weights. I was like, what? No,
Yeah,
I'm too sad to like work out now. Like that's too much of a loss.
I think I was at a TNL meeting.
Oh,
and
no.
I found out James Earl Jones died, and I had to like not like I was in the middle of doing like professional work, so I had to not be dramatic. I found out Maggie Smith died the other day while I was at work, and we weren't actually doing anything. So I saw and I audibly gasped that other people around me asked what happened.
Yeah, it's sad.
But oh my god, like for me, I know her as McGonagall. She's amazing in that role. They were both amazing people. I know James Earl Jones from both of the roles that I mentioned in my little eulogy. But I mean,
There's no voice like his.
No.
And there never will be again.
Like
no one has his like presence or like power.
Like when you think of Star Wars, you hear like Darth Vader's
think
voice.
of
Like that's one of the most iconic voices
It was gonna
in
be
the
different,
history of
too.
cinema, and it's gonna last forever.
It was gonna be like high pitched until George Lucas like dubs it over with him.
I know. I remember finding out for the first time that the voice was not the
Wasn't the
person
actor.
in the
David
character
Prowse.
in the costume. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is
That's just amazing.
if Michael Caine is next, then like I'm losing faith.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's sad. But all right. Before we wrap our show up. There's always so many new things coming out to watch, and so we're going to catch you up with a look at what's coming out in TV and movies with Tune In this week. All right, so Joker, I'm going to pronounce this terribly. It's Joker Folie à Deux, I believe. It's French.
Perfect.
Is perfect. Awesome. Is set 2 years after the events of the first film, where Arthur Fleck, aka Joker, is institutionalized at Arkham State Hospital and falls in love with fellow inmate Harley Quinn, played by Lady Gaga. The two experience life through a shared musical-driven psychosis, which intensifies their relationship and spurs Arthur's followers to begin a movement to free him, leading to chaos in Gotham. You can watch Joker Folie à Deux only in theaters this Friday. I'm so excited for this one. Are you guys?
I'm not letting Arkham slide, by the way.
The what?
I'm not letting Arkham slide.
It's Arkham, but anyway.
Arkham? Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
I still have to watch. I still have to watch the first Joker movie, but I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Also, Lady Gaga joining this one. I think that's gonna be an exciting turn.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna skip ahead here. We got Where's Wanda, Apple TV's first German language series. It's a dark comedy about a couple who are desperate to find their 17-year-old daughter, Wanda, who has disappeared without a trace for months. Frustrated by the police's lack of progress, the family takes matters into their own hands, installing surveillance devices in their neighborhood, uncovering shocking secrets about their seemingly normal neighborhoods. Where's Wanda premieres this Wednesday on Apple TV+. This one sounds interesting. I haven't heard about this one until now. But
Exclusively German? That sounds...
Apple
especially
TV's
for
really got
Apple,
some
yeah.
great stuff now.
I know, they're really taking chances, but I'm excited. There's been a lot of like Asian based language shows lately, so to see
like
one in
Shogun.
German is quite fun.
I mean, I'm always up for new things. so-
Yeah. And along with these series, there's also new seasons of Law & Order SVU, and Heartstopper, all premiering this week. And that's all for Tune In this week. Good stuff coming out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I think we got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up our show this week. Thank you all for tuning in this week, and thank you all for talking about movies with me. I love doing this with you guys.
Yeah.
Great time.
It is a great time. This has been the Screening Room on WRH. Whoa. This has been the Screening Room on WRHU. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Screening Room WRHU to stay up to date, and be sure to tune in to our show every Sunday at 10 a.m. only here on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. But until then, just remember, as my friend Kermit the Frog once said, life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing. Keep pretending. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Stay screening.